What do you have here? A quarterly business magazine. An empty ashtray. Don't mind us, we're just investigating your room. Dishes soaked up in a pot. Flyers for underground parties. And a Samaran conical hat. I'll take that. An exquisite canopy bed made of metal. Doesn't look all that exquisite. An old photo of the same apartment dated year 01. And, ooh, a party dragon silk robe. That looks quite good. I would like to wear that. Right in front of you. Yes, that looks... It looks good here. It looks hideous in him, so let's maybe not. Let's maybe not. This suits him much better. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspapers.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The man in business casual removes his cufflinks.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain. His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Before we get to that, tell me where you got this beautiful silk robe from.
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
He forms a little rooftop with his fingers. Cold air sweeps in from the balcony.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
The man gives a solemn nod. Is it because you did it, Mr. Vildrouin?
Because I did it?
The man scoffs.
He's clearly not a man accustomed to being spoken to in that manner, let alone to being accused of murder.
Don't jerk my chain, paper jockey. You did it, didn't you? My apologies, I misspoke. I mean, what did you see?
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
He nods to you. Well, who were they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez.
He pauses, looking for the right wording.
Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
Yes, I get your drift. How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Were any of them huge, like 200 kilograms huge?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human,
Okay.
as far as I could tell.
What happened next?
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men? Women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched a guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Why didn't you call the RCM?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Those are all my questions. Thanks for your time.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
What's an official like you doing in Martinez?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
So you're some kind of bureaucrat?
Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the moral intern is joking or not.
What is this international community?
La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
And what do I call the coalition?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
What is the price stabilité?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
This is fascinating, but I wanted to ask you something else.
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering my questions at all.
The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
I can sell it later, sure.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
I can't sell a call to the information line, so no thank you. Heard about this moral intern before, but I want to know more.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
Are you a moralist?
But of course,
But why?
because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
Lieutenant, are you a moralist?
Me?
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment. He quickly recomposes himself.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Revachol.
A very moralist answer.
The man nods.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Revachol? Is it part of the normal world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D, none of the above. Is that moralism?
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
Yes, everything else is super extreme. It's like I'm living with a bunch of lunatics.
Sounds like you're a moralist indeed, my friend. Welcome.
Okay.
Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed, an ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Tell me about Sur la Clé.
What's there to say? Sur la Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
What makes Revachol Sur la Clé's darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur la Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Enough business. I'm getting tired of it. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you wish, officer.
Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
But that doesn't tell me anything about Kedra itself. Is it warm there? Cold? Something in between?
It's warm. It's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi. Kedra's an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go. Maybe that's why my friend's ménage decided to emigrate.
How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way.
Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry, who?
The man throws a quick glance at his watch. Your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking about him.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Fine, but what's his real name?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What are you doing in his apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
The man smiles, nodding to the window. What view? It's dark outside.
Listen,
He says, raising his hand. What? Not hearing anything?
the Insulindian Bay.
What about it?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
He knocks on the balcony door, his face mirrored in the darkened glass. I was asking about your friend.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
Something else in mind.
I'm all ears, officer.
Actually, never mind, I
A
don't.
moment, officer.
Yes?
Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Hold on, why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Thanks for the heads up, but my work here is done.
Of course. I'm glad I could help.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep it sane around here.
The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you, it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
First, where is this Kingdom of Conscience?
It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times.
How do you bring about those circumstances?
Incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment.
But what about all the things that are wrong now?
Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the future. You may never live to see the Kingdom of Conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working. What rationality? What sang-froid? What benevolence?
Wait, is the Kingdom of Conscience really about doing things or just preserving the status quo?
Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed?
Yes.
There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress.
Okay, but what's the Kingdom of Conscience actually like?
The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to describe, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
Sounds incredible. Allons-y. Let's go there right now.
Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow?
Oh, right. Then let's get there eventually.
That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier.
Yes. How many skill points do I even have at this point? A lot. Probably want some of these. Confirm. That's the wrong one. Do I want another one? No. We'll focus on one. Kingdom of Conscience. Sure. Let's think about that one. And with that done, I think it's time to head back to the Whirling in Rags. And I wanted to say go back to sleep, and then I immediately remembered there's a door in there that we should probably be checking out. Right through here. Because, well, it's been a lot of episodes and we still don't know what's behind there. And I'd like to know. Here's the exit. That should by far be the easiest way to get back there. Alright. Through here. Actually, can we? No. We need to get all the way around here. There's no direct way through. Right, through here, through there. Just over there. And then tomorrow will finally be the day when we can fix the bridge that crosses us over into the other part of town. We also have to talk to her eventually, but actually, you know what? Let's do that now. Need to name drop.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
She crosses her arms. Are you the hardy girl?
I am not.
She says dryly.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
Get a grip, Glenn. She went to law school.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people, fuckwad.
No, Glenn, they aren't.
Her tone is cold and uninvolved.
This didn't change her opinion of you. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Are you, Lizzie, Elizabeth, Miss Beaufort?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
She points to the tall man by the table.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands. In her face. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
Easy. Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
Am I? Why do you know?
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations here. Establish that. A man like Easy Leo could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
You said Mr. Everard sent you to law school?
I represent the union and these men here. Don't make this personal.
A very minor victory.
Alright, maybe we'll talk later. Now then. Wait, who are you? Okay, I can't talk to you.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimpled lock.
Touch the door.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older. The door does not budge.
Don't I have a key? Wait. None of this is a key. Wait. Wait. Is that not behind the greenhouse in the yard? Okay, so it's probably not this one then, after all? Okay, never mind. I'd like to pay my rent for the night.
Can I help you?
Yes.
Got the 20 real?
I have this giant novelty check.
You must be kidding, right? Yeah, good one, officer. Real funny. But this establishment only takes cash. Now, do you have that cash, Mr. Novelty Check Man?
Frit, near the gate. They'll exchange it.
Okay.
Then why are you wasting...
Yes, shut up, guard. Alright, let's go to... Does Frit have their doors open at 11 p.m.? Actually, aren't... I think... Isn't Frit a 24/7 store? They probably do. Yes. Let's go. While we're at it, if we're already out here again anyway, we might as well go check up on that basement door, after all. Behind the greenhouse. Hey there.
Is this about the questions again?
No.
Because I don't really know anything.
I need to exchange this novelty check for cash.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir.
I don't. She rolls up the giant novelty check, looks like she's seen it before, and slips it under the counter.
Anything else I can do for you?
No, you don't work for the Union. The Union works for you by supplying you with cash.
Exactly. No, nothing else. Now got almost 49 real. I will have only 28 real after this night. But that's still good enough for another day. So it's at least a big step forward in our financial security. Is it here or is it on the other side? The basement door. Let's see. There's the greenhouse. Is it this door over there? Probably not this one. No. No. Stop. No. Okay. Get me through the loading screen. It's definitely not this one. I was just hoping. Is there anything else interesting in here? No, it's not. I was just hoping that it'd be a shortcut somehow to get back there, but probably isn't. So, can I not even... No, can't even click here. Need to go all the way around. Sure. Going down here isn't going to help us either. It's just going to make our wait even longer and more annoying. So, here we go. It would be great if they just removed that fence. It would really make my life a whole lot easier. This one, right?
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
Press your ear against the door.
The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp.
Carefully knock.
You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound. No response comes from the apartment.
Well, in we go then.
I guess no one is in.
The lieutenant looks uncomfortable. Lieutenant, what is your opinion of this task we're undertaking?
Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself.
The lieutenant replies, still inspecting the padded door.
Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about.
Got it.
The lieutenant merely nods in response.
Use the key.
You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. There's nothing else to do than to leave and tell Everard. No conceivable reason for you to intrude on the premises. There might be important information in the apartment. I mean, there might.
In we go. Let's see what's in there. Possibly some crucial information that we can blackmail Everard with. I wouldn't say no to that. I'll take the magnesium. A small suitcase full of clothes. Guests are staying over? We have here a book titled The Hidden World of Walking Sticks lies open. You can almost feel the warmth of the red sun on the flag.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
What's with the sun?
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
What's the sevenfold sun miracle?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Lieutenant, the old flag of the suzerain.
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing.
Don't bow to the flag.
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colourful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Yes. What do we have in here? Some money, maybe? No, an inter-isolary dress shirt. That actually doesn't look too bad, does it? What is the one we've currently got? Yeah? I like that one. Whoever lives here admires fair-haired fantasy heroes with big muscles. What is this?
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure.
Oh.
A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others.
Is this maybe a mysterious mug guy?
A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn.
What do I mean uncomfortable?
It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people.
Cynical, slippery bastard.
You ain't gonna change someone's mind by calling them a bastard. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Whip out your yellow man mug and compare.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Yeah? You really think it's the same person who put the dead man's clothes in the trash?
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
Certainly.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
Yes, move on from the mugs. And I think we've now checked everything in here, so let's leave again. We've done our job. And with that, it's now time to actually go back to the Whirling in Rags and sleep for the night. After we've moved all the way around again. And then we've got a lot of things to do on the next day as well. We need to go and connect that bridge again. Then we need to talk to Everard again. And probably fulfill a load of other tasks as well that I just don't have in my head right now. But I expect the other side of this town to provide quite a lot of stuff to investigate as well. So I'm not too worried about not having too much on my plate at the moment. About my bill.
20 real.
Yes, there you go.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. How many skill? I'm still at 2 skill points, okay. We don't need to use them right now. We'll use them later. When we actually need them to retry white checks. Let's see. Off to our apartment again. Bye-bye, Kim. See you in the morning. Oh yeah, this is a bed.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it.
Go to sleep. Let's see what kind of
The bed
nightmares we'll
is
have
still
today.
cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man.
Why?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately. But this suffering, it must have some kind of meaning. A story that will come out of it. Perhaps even a story that you will write yourself.
I think I need medical attention.
Oh, yes. They'll check you out, give you some pills, make it all okay. The Wonder Makers.
Don't be stupid, Harry. It's not happening. They don't make new kidneys and livers in hospital. All you've got to do is pray to God it passes and stare at the flickering darkness.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
I will. I'm looking at people all the time. I like them.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
Some of them are. Some of them are nice. Others are scared. At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Just like that, it's another day. Probably not comfortable to sleep in those gloves. And with a flashlight at the ready. But either way, that'll do it for this time. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.